Let's talk about the cash flow challenge in construction. Okay, why is it? What is occurring? What's happening? Well, first, look, this industry is tough, okay? You have to do all the work up front. You only can invoice once at the end of the month, and then someone has to analyze your work, and it takes 30 to 60 days to get paid. That gap there can be anywhere from 30 to 75 days before you even see one check or dollar off of this project. Okay, that alone is the issue. Now that we all know that, and I think everyone can accept that, what are you doing about it? So flying blind into a problem is one of the worst things you can do. Hoping and praying that it's going to work out, it's great to hope and pray, but it's definitely not a strategy for business. So a cash flow tool needs to be utilized, some manner in which that you can see the amount of dollars that are going out on a project and the amount of dollars coming in on a project and what those relationship is over time. Look, when you put a bid in for a job, if that job costs $100 and the costs are 80 and you're going to make 20 bucks and you can do that job right now today, yeah, no problem. You make your 20 bucks. Okay, great. But when that job's 100,000, a million, 5 million, or any number in between, and you're going to have a time period that isn't just one day, but it's going to be several months or several weeks, and it means you're going to be doing progress billing over the period of those months and weeks, it's critical to know how the costs that you've bid are going to be spent, not month to month, but week to week. It's a real big mistake, and we see it all the time. For contractors who have bid a project, they have a good margin in it, they know what their work schedule is going to be, but they don't know what those costs are going to be spent. They might know what month they're going to occur, but we don't live monthly. We live weekly. We even live daily. You got to go hour by hour. But at a minimum, when you're breaking out your costs, you have to know what you're going to spend on a weekly basis. Number one, most times you're paying payroll every single week. If not weekly, you're paying it bi-weekly. So at a minimum, you need to know what your costs are on a weekly or bi-weekly basis for labor. And you know what? When you order material, you need to know when that material is going to be ordered too. If you order at the beginning of the month as opposed to the end of the month, that can have a critical impact to your cash flow. If you can't include that material invoice, or if it lands on a project the first week of the month versus the last week of the month, and you can't invoice for it the month you thought, you might be floating that material for an extra 30 days. How are you going to manage around that? What if you didn't plan for it? What if you thought you were going to invoice $100,000 worth of material this month, but you now have to carry that cost for an extra 30 days because it doesn't get included till the following month and then paid 30 days later? Those are big changes and impacts that to your business. This cash flow tool that we're going to talk about today helps you mitigate exactly that. Here's what else it's going to do. It's going to tell you how much margin you actually have in the job. It's going to show you when you're going to be cash flow positive on the project. When is the project going to pay for itself? Meaning, how many dollars do you actually have to push up front to pay for costs, labor, equipment, material, before enough money comes off this job that it actually is paying for itself? Is it 50% of your cost? Is it 20% of your cost? Who knows? And what if there's some changes to the schedule along the way? If you have a 6-month project, what if something changes 2 months into it? How does that impact your cash flow? What if you have another project start at the same time? What if? I could give you a million scenarios and you've heard them all. But the bottom line is you need a tool to be able to manage each project and its cash flow so that you can be successful. This cash flow tool does exactly that. So let's jump right into it.